Good afternoon. I'm going to be careful doing this, but you see that? I put that piece of foil on the back of my shade house. The shade house is actually empty. Well, I have aggregatums hanging on it, excuse me. But it's reflecting into the grow room. And man, let me tell you, it is incredibly bright in there. The amount of light that it's throwing in there is just crazy. You can feel the heat about 10 feet away coming off that. I mean, it's hot actually coming off that. I'll take you inside and show you what it looks like. I've got to be careful because I will blind you. Anyway, there is a lot of light coming through there. Nice, beautiful reflected light. There's no lights on in here at all. The only thing that's running is that fan up in the corner, and that's it. But wow, it's bright. Beautiful light. And it's actually warmed up the room too. Just bouncing the light back in here. It's 77 degrees at 77% humidity. We were around 84, 85 last night, percent humidity. I came in here about 10 o'clock last night, and it was all the roots were green. You could tell everybody had opened up all the roots and were sucking up moisture out of the air. It was very muggy in here, but I've got a fan blowing all the time, so there's lots and lots of airflow. You know, there's always, you can see the plants moving, so there's lots of airflow. Having the humidity like that is not bad as long as I have lots of airflow. But I noticed I've still got, even today, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still have roots that are still green left over from last night. So I think that's going to make a big difference and help on the mounts. I don't water them normally about every 2 or 3 days, or actually, honestly, about every 3 or 4 days. If you take one of these mounts and you soak it, even a little one, if I drop in the water and let it soak for a half hour, it sucks up a lot of water, not just the plants, but the wood will. And the wood will stay wet for 24 hours or more, still have moisture in it. And they have to go through a wet dry cycle anyway. So 3 or 4 days is about how often I'm watering some of these. Most of them, some a little bit less than that. There might be 1 or 2 that I throw in the water every once in a while just because there's babies on it, and I want to make sure that they get attached, get a little bit more moisture. But these are racevolas, they still have to have a wet dry cycle. They still have to have it. So Sulphurnitis, you can't give them too much water on most. They just love it. But I'm not having to water the mounts, but every 3 or 4 days. And the pots, I don't know, maybe once a week a good soak. I'm kind of having to play it by ear. The fans are drying things out that I'm using, but I've got a small humidifier down here, and you can see my humidity's at 77% right now, so that's not bad. Light-wise, I've got plenty of light. Temperatures are running good. Humidity's doing great. I took some rainwater earlier and mixed up some nutrients, and the film did not come out very well, so my apologies. This is around 300 parts per million, which is higher than I normally would feed, but these phals are growing. They're putting out a lot of leaf growth right now. This leaf is actually turning green again, looks good. This one it's going to lose, I think, but this one, which was very similar to it, is thickening up and has got more green on it than it used to have. New growth come out, new leaves. So they're getting a higher feed than I normally would. I'm just kind of playing around with these two right now. Both these were rescues. This was off the dollar table, and this was my daughter-in-law threw it away, actually. And my wife brought it home, and she doesn't know I have it right now. The daughter-in-law doesn't know I've saved it. I'll wait till it finishes blooming, then I'll show it to her. And I got a couple other phals I may be dunking in there, too, that are looking for a little more feed, I think. Some of these with all the root growth on them. Some of them just have incredible roots, just keep growing, and I think the sign of the root growth is telling me that they want more nutrients. If they're growing more roots, they're usually looking for nutrients. If they're growing more leaves and stuff, and I know some of it's seasonal, some of it has to do with genetics, etc., but typically plants growing more on the top are usually looking for more light and more gas exchange. Typically, if they grow more roots, they're looking for more nutrition. Try not to blind everybody here. Very happy right now with the way the room's working. I got some of the trays set into place. I need to get the others out, unwrap them, and get them put into place. I need to clean up in here one more time, wipe everything down again, real good, because right now I've got water tracked around. So let me get back to it. Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon.